The following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah! Go Cowboys! This is Media Mash, a roundtable of Cowboys insiders dropping wisdom and offering sizzling takes on the current state of your Dallas Cowboys. Now, your host, Newy Scruggs.
Let's ride. Media Mash right here on a Thursday heading into a very important weekend game as the Cowboys will host the Philadelphia Eagles on NBC by Sunday Night Football. We have Clarence Hill, the Fort Worth Star Telegram, joining us. We've got Saad Youssef of The Athletic and the author. We've got the podcaster. We've got the former Cowboy daily beat writer. We've got the man, the myth, the legend. He's Jean-Jacques Taylor.
And he's also the guest of honor on Cowboys or Chill, at LB's tonight for the DFW ABJ Christmas party. We're talking about the book. You're promoting the book, aren't you? Are you promoting the book?
Yeah, man.
Are you promoting the book? We're talking about the book. He's gonna have a book for sale tonight. LB's
Signed copies tonight, man.
Signed copies tonight. And we're gonna talk about the book writing process with Jock Taylor.
Yeah.
I thought we weren't going to get to that. But
I'm just saying.
Right out the gate, I'm Newy Scruggs, second host of the Media Mash.
No, you're supposed to say, I'm just merely Moody. I'm merely Newy Scruggs.
First off, man, Saad, thank you for coming back. Okay, thanks for coming back, Saad. I know Clarence was hazing you last week.
Oh, my God. He's such a liar.
But it's okay. It's okay, man.
We get because we care.
We do.
That's what I've always been told.
Yeah. We sometimes we're caring too much on that end right there. But Ada Theta brother right here, doing his thing.
And so watch out for Saad.
I'm Santa today, okay?
As Tad Carper said, you got the 12 days of sweatshirt, Christmas sweatshirts. You on day 2. We have the Chill family Christmas one yesterday, Black Santa today. Yeah, let Megan Kelly see you wearing it.
Always Black Santas in my household. I'm not your household.
Okay. So Megan Kelly said that ain't the way it is. Let's start off with Mike McCarthy, the head coach. So he's okay. And so Saad, when Brian Schottenheimer met with us today, said he'd spoken with him, and you talked to Dak Prescott today. So give us the latest on what Dak had to say about Mike.
Yeah, I mean, when it first happened, it kind of raised flags a little bit. But the way that everyone's talked about it the last 2 days, it's clear that it's an unfortunate thing, but it's not something that's going to take him out of the game or anything like that. So I it felt like it was mostly business as usual, and something that the players and coaches all talked about was just the structure that Mike McCarthy has in place. And I think if this was going to happen at all, the Eagles, obviously tough team, big game, but one thing Schottenheimer mentioned today, familiar opponent. You just played them a month ago, so you have some of that. It's late in the season. The structure's in place. They're still going through all their normal things. Dak's going to have his call with McCarthy tonight. So it's business as usual for the most part.
So Mike McCarthy had appendectomy surgery yesterday. He's doing A-OK. Clarence Hill, let's go back over here to you. I thought Schottenheimer did a good job of playing it down. And making sure he said everything is okay. All systems are go here. Many times we're given a narrative from the team, but we're in the media. Part of us need to be skeptical at all. Is there anything that we should be skeptical about, or any other questions that you'd like to have asked about head coach Mike McCarthy's ability to call the game on Sunday?
At the end of the day, you're going to make the best of the situation. But this is not ideally how you want to go into this week. The good news is it happened on Wednesday and not Monday or Tuesday, because that's when they put the game plans in, and then they talked about the game plan really being put in on Monday and Tuesday already, and he'll be available for the important call with Dak as they go over the script and decide what he likes, the opening script and that stuff tonight. Yeah, I mean, based on what they're telling us, everything is good and everything is going forward. And Mike is excited. He's focused. The thing about it is that, and I think that one thing that the Schottenheimer pressed on is that, Mike, as Dak said, Mike's upset and grumpy and pissed off because, it's game week and this is a distraction. But he was also appreciative that he listened to his body, and as we get older, listen to your body, because men, tough guys. It's for less of everybody out there, that are tuning in. Listen to your body, because we'll try to toughen things out. We have a pain, and we'll try to be tough. He's a big, tough Pittsburgh guy. I'm going to fight through this. I'm going to ignore this. He listened to his body and got it taken care of. Now he can go back and take care of business, because a lot of times we don't listen to our body, and we think we'll get through it, and then you may not have the opportunity to get back and reset and do some of those things. So that's the good news. That's the lesson that we all can learn and take from this.
I mean, how can I top that, dog? I mean, that was
therapy session right here.
That was reflective chill right there.
It's like
you don't really always get that.
But seriously, man, it's a good lesson to
I think
learn.
that's just Chill being a little. Coming across after calling him an elephant. And I think he.
And he called a fat man, so he took care of himself.
We close to the same age too. You got to be good. When you get older, you start appreciating these things. You appreciate these days that we have, these opportunities, these times to be on podcasts with young Saad Yusuf, and appreciate these opportunities to break some bread with News Scruggs and Jock Taylor. You got to appreciate that.
Okay.
Yeah. Now let's just hope he ain't on the meds and he can call them plays the way he been called. I think that's the only concern is that, and for me, it's not. Schottenheimer has called plays before. Certainly, he's capable if it were necessary, but. It's about going for it on 4th and 2. It's all about the decision making that goes into the game plan and the execution of the overall offense and the overall game. And so that's really what you want Mike and his expertise for. Because as everybody said, he's clearly in the zone right now doing that. And so you would miss that if for some reason he's not able to do that.
Or as Dak said, he's in his bag. I mean, we talk incessantly over the last few weeks about how Dak's in the zone, Dak's hot, Dak's MVP. Well, the architect of all this is Mike McCarthy. And Mike McCarthy is as hot as Dak has been with his play calling.
So last night on Channel 5, we ended up talking to a doctor and about, okay, what are the effects of something like this and how quick can you get back to work? And the doctor's like, oh, I had it. 2 days later, I was ready to go. Said the biggest thing was just managing pain. Said it felt like, the abdominal pain would be there. If you kind of went and did one of those ab classes and, it hurt you a little bit. Danny McCray, former Cowboy player, said he had stitches here. So I'm imagining because Mike's going to be on the sidelines, just players getting by. Our man Cable who's going to be out here trying to protect him and make sure nobody gets close to Mike and nobody hits him. But that to me is that I think right now that's the issue. And then just the pain tolerance and what he can deal with.
Pittsburgh guy, as Dak said, Pittsburgh. He tells us how tough he is. He's going to be he going to prove it. He's going to be out there because he's a big Pittsburgh guy, a big tough Pittsburgh guy. That's Mike. That's right up his alley. So they all expect him to be out there and prove how tough he is. And just talking to them, they also want to win for him. They know what he's gone through. They know what he's also sacrificing, dealing with the pain to be out there. And as much as they want to be Philadelphia, they don't need any more motivations. It's just a little extra motivation. Let's do this for Mike, too.
All right. So we're going to ride to be a Sharon Moore out there after the game.
Golly, jeez. We did it for you, Mike.
I love that heck out of you, man. Good for you, man. That Michigan assistant coach, boy. Ooh, child. Ooh, boy. That's something. That was something, boy. Hate to see if they win the championship.
And the thing is, I thought he was going to do that because he's going to be the next coach because Harbaugh was going to the pros.
And now he just got it.
Now Harbaugh's getting an extension. You ain't even getting no job out of this dude.
That extension don't mean anything.
I know, but I'm just saying he's going to get.
He picked up the phone last year. Called Carolina.
No, he was searching for a job.
He called it. Hey.
Well, he was in Minnesota on signing day 2 years ago.
Right. So he interviewed with the Vikings, but he called David Tepper last year. So I can't see.
They would be made for each other.
And I was about to say, at this point in time, they may need to go ahead and hook up with each other.
Tepper should have picked up last year.
No. You say what you want to about Harbaugh. He get your program headed in the proper direction.
Yeah, Tepper should have picked up last year.
Tepper, he shouldn't have picked up. Tepper should have just hired the guy who was right there winning games for him. Right, Steve Wilkes was doing just fine. And when you start to think about the offensive linemen and the kind of guys they had drafted and what they were going, they don't fit what Frank Reich's doing. So it's just so many bad things there. It's just I go back to when I see someone like David Tepper. We were out there in Charlotte. You saw how a Cowboy took over the stadium. It was a Cowboy takeover in the stadium. It makes me appreciate Jerry. And people could talk about how many they hadn't won in this amount of time, but the dysfunction you see with Carolina, people think it can't get. They were tired of Jerry Richardson, but it got worse. It can always get worse, especially in professional sports.
That's the truest thing ever, because a lot of times as fans or as media, you do sit around, it can't get. Oh no, it can get worse. I mean, it really can. You could be 0-16. You can be a whole lot of things.
You can be 0-16 and not have your first round pick the next year.
It can get worse.
They could end up on this thing 1-16 with no first round pick, and the only win is against the dude that they wish they would have drafted, C.J. Stroud. It is. They got a mess in Charlotte. They got a mess, and most of all, your fan base. has done the one thing that Jerry Jones has always wanted to make sure you didn't have is apathy.
Yep. That's the worst thing.
That is the worst thing you can have is apathy. And the Cowboys don't have that at all. They've got a whole lot of folks going to be ready for this one. Apparently, Sha'Carri Richardson's going to be here at the game. So NBC,
fastest woman in the world.
Yeah.
Dallas Carter.
Yeah, they get ready for the NBC gets ready for the Olympics and making sure they put her out there. So it's going to be some folks on the sidelines. It's going to be a huge game here. One thing, and I asked in the press conference, I want to get everybody's thoughts on, is I asked Brian Schottenheimer about the penalties. The Cowboys had 9 penalties against Seattle. They had 10 penalties in that Eagles game. And remember the final drive where the penalties killed them. And he talked about post-snap penalties. Hey, kind of can't do much, but it's the pre-snaps and having to fix that at here. So, Saad, I'll start with you. What's your concern level about the Cowboys with this penalty problem?
Probably around an 8 out of 10, I would say. I mean, it's because we have the sample size. This is not just even a this year problem. This has been going along for a while. And against the Eagles last time, it was a game of inches in a literal sense. You had the Schoonmaker, you had the Dak on the 2-point conversion. It was literally a game of inches. But what game of inches means in an overall sense is that your margin for error is really thin. So that false start, those things lining up offsides, which, hopefully Dante Fowler is, studying where the line of scrimmage is and all that stuff. I think those things are really, really important in a game like this and against a team like this. So I would say my concern level for that issue costing them the game is not 8 out of 10, but the fact that it'll happen, and I still think they can overcome some of it, but they haven't shown a lot of reason to think that it's not going to happen again.
So what you say is what?
Al Pacino, Any Given Sunday. The inches we need are all around.
That was the story, the previous win. My issue is the offsides. I mean, the penalties are the penalties. And, again, I have no problem with the aggressive penalties. But how the hell are you continuously lining up offside?
Not even jumping offside.
No.
Lining up offside.
Yeah, they lead the league in lining up offsides, and the ball is right there. How do you continuously do that? And it's generally the same guys.
I was going to say, Fowler's done it 4 times. They lead the NFL with 14 offensive, defensive offside penalties. They also lead the league in pass interference penalties. And so they got to clean it up in the sense that Philadelphia is not a team you want to say, we thought we were off on 3rd down. Oh, we finna get y'all a whole nother series. Because they're going to go for it enough on 4th down anyway to get what we would term extra possession. So you don't need to help them out. And I think it's especially important in these games because 1st and 5, you basically gave that thing away when you talk about Philadelphia because they're going to go for it so much. And so you need to keep them as much as you can long distance, and you can't give them hidden yardage with penalties like that.
Yeah. And again, I can understand the combative pass interference penalties. You don't want them, you don't like them, especially in the end zone.
And a lot of it's because they play man to man.
Yeah, and, but that's football, and as we've seen all weekend, the officials call them differently. Some you go back to that game.
Those are the post-snap penalties in Schottenheimer.
I can understand that. But it's the offsides, give me 1st and 5, or it's 3rd down, you give them opportunities. That's what drives you crazy.
A penalty on a touchback because somebody was personal foul. That's ridiculous.
It just drives you crazy when you get stuff like that.
And that to me speaks to them as a team and their own discipline. I was talking to Rodney Harrison of Sunday night.
Speaking of
Sunday
discipline.
Football, and he spoke about it. He just said this is a team. He said this is a team thing. It's like, when we was in New England, like that became a deal with guys amongst the team had to police this with each other. You got, hey, Jacques, you going to come and you going, hey, Newey, what you doing? Clarence, what you saw? We can't have this. That has to truly come from the inside because clearly Mike McCarthy is a head coach. This has been an issue since he's been here. He's not fixed it. So it's got to go to guys in the room to make sure this thing gets fixed. Are you reporting eligible to do the referee?
That's one of the all-timers.
But, come on, makes no sense. Yeah. It makes no sense. I'm a quiet guy. There's no excuse you're a quiet guy.
What you mean?
That's what McCarthy said. He's kind of a quiet guy. He don't speak up. I mean, dude, come on. This football. You grown man.
Man, go get my belt and go up in your room. Wait for me.
And I bring it up because if you want to go where you think you want to be, it will not be with you getting 9 and 10 penalties in key games.
No.
You can't do that. 10 penalties against the Eagles. I mean, we all saw them. All right, you got inside the 5, and then next thing you know, you out here outside the red zone.
Those hurt, man. That was one of the key plays in the game, man. Yeah, it's Tyler Smith, who's a fantastic player, but you almost wrecked the drive right there, because then first and 11, you took the run option away. You had to throw the ball, led to the sacks. I mean, that one 5-yard penalty wrecked that drive.
And that has been the issue for me when I look at the Cowboys. And if you're trying to get deep in the playoffs, you can't beat yourself. And they're doing that. It's too hard. And it's one thing to do it against the Giants. You can overcome that. But if you're trying to sit up here and do this against the Eagles or the 49ers or even the Lions down the stretch, you're going to have to go to Buffalo. You can't sit around here and give these guys extra possessions. I mean, you're not good enough to overcome them.
What have we always said when New England was a good team, or when Alabama has been running college football? You have to go beat them, because they never beat themselves. I mean, that was really the beauty of New England all those years. You had to go beat them, because they would never turn the ball over, never commit a lot of penalties, never give you anything that helped you win. You just got to go beat them.
Yes,
and
Chiefs
Cowboys need to play
the
like
AFC
that.
Championship game, and they get Brady and company the ball back, and they go down and win.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And by the way, it also, along with penalties, it extends to decision making and all that stuff. I mean, like Mike McCarthy, on that third down, you throw that fade, you give that extra possession to Jalen Hurts and the Eagles.
He was trying to win the game.
Right, but I'm just saying, like, I'm saying those decisions, those pieces of scrutiny are going to come around, and they're going to be a lot more scrutinized when it's against these higher levels of competition.
I agree, because I asked Mike after the game about that, because as media, we're questioning, why are you doing that, because we're playing against the clock. He said, Clarence, I didn't know you were scared. We're trying to win the game. I'm trying to win. You mean when I tried to win the game? I'm trying to win the game. He was trying to win the game on that play. Obviously, it didn't work. I like the one-on-one outside. I'm trying to win the game. And I can understand that mentality. He's been aggressive. Obviously, you have to pick your spots, but he can live with it, and they won.
Now, see, I actually prefer that approach, because I talk about going to win the game all the time. I would probably nitpick the play, because you don't give yourself a lot of room for error on that particular play. But I didn't mind going for it.
Well, you had to pass, but what most people talked about, when you pass the ball, you had an incomplete pass, you're working the time.
Where you can at least, if no one's open, you can take a sack, a short sack, and still kick the field goal, keep the clock running. Yeah. Again, I agree with the concept. It's more about if you're going to throw a fade in that situation.
Because in Madden, I usually run,
Oh, my God.
Man. That's why everybody loves to criticize play calls, man. Because
these Madden experts, boy. These Madden experts kill me.
Everybody think they're play callers. That's why.
Everybody think they know football because of Madden. Boy, John Madden rolling over in his grave. Boom, boom, bah, boom, bah.
Clarence Hill, Saad Youssef.
You didn't send us to break on that.
I'm Newey Scruggs. Let's dive into this MVP contending matchup of the quarterbacks between the Eagles and Cowboys and get ready for Sunday Night Football right here on the Media Mash on DallasCowboys.com radio.
Todd thought it would be secure to jog in the cheetah savanna. Todd believed the big cat repellent he bought online was reliable. And now, Todd is trying to be faster than this cheetah that can run 80 miles per hour. But the good news is, Todd has AT&T 5G that is fast, reliable, and secure. And he learned the best thing to do is stop running and toss her the backpack with the beef stew. AT&T 5G. Fast, reliable, secure. It's not complicated.
5G requires compatible plan and device. 5G may not be available in your area. See att.com/5G for you for details.
Don't put off getting your oil changed, Dallas. Take 5 Oil Change, a proud partner of the Cowboys, is faster than you think. There's no appointment needed and no waiting room. Yep, you heard that correctly. Take 5 is so fast, you don't even have to get out of your car. You can take advantage of Take 5's fast, friendly, and simple service at any of their locations across the Dallas area. And remember, at Take 5, you stay in your car because they're faster than you think. Take 5, the official oil change of the Dallas Cowboys.
It's the official men's skincare brand of the Dallas Cowboys, Jack Black. And right now, Cowboys fans can get 15% off their $75 order. Plus, because every deal needs a playmaker, your order will include a free 5-piece skincare set and free shipping. The Jack Black Playmaker is 4 of Jack's favorites and a full-sized intense therapy lip balm. Make a play for the Playmaker at getjackblack.com/Cowboys with the code Cowboys Cowboys VIP. That's getjackblack.com/Cowboys with the code Cowboys VIP.
They say champions are remembered, but legends are never forgotten. United Ag and Turf offers a winning lineup of John Deere equipment built to tackle any challenge on and off the field. Legendary John Deere tractors, combines, residential mowers, commercial mowers, compact construction equipment, Gator utility vehicles, and a full line of golf and sports turf equipment. United Ag and Turf, the official Ag and Turf equipment supplier of the Dallas Cowboys. Visit UnitedAgAndTurf.com to find a location near you.
Back to Media Mash.
Media Mash. You know the insiders. Jacques Taylor, Saad Youssef, Clarence Hill. Tonight at Ella B's. Saad, you going to be out there? We got...
Come on, dog.
Come on, man.
I didn't get the invite, like I wanted
right
to,
now.
but
It's an open invite, but Side got about 14 jobs.
It's public. Stars got a game tonight?
yes.
Washington.
But they're on the road.
Okay, but I saw them on TV last night.
Not looking good. Yet another slow start to doom them. If they lose the last 2 games of this road trip and the other teams ahead of them win, they could find themselves out of the playoff foot already, even though there's a few games left.
That's a hell of a stat.
Hell of a stat.
I've been reading sides.
So Saad, they'll get a little side TV for you, Ella B's.
Side TV, how about this?
You got your phone. You can watch
Put
it
them things up.
Yeah.
It ain't gonna make the gonna be game on.
That's what I said.
It's gonna be a horrible game.
Side TV.
Horrible. Anybody gonna watch Pittsburgh, New England tonight?
5.5.
Will they get 10 points
Pittsburgh
between them?
and New England.
Yeah.
10 points between them?
Dog.
See, I got some defensive scores.
Oh, okay. Minka Fitzpatrick take one back.
What my dog Zeke gonna
what
do
was the
tonight? He
one
gonna be
that just-
starting, right?
So I got Zeke falling into one.
10 for
and then I
24.
got
10 for 24.
I got
Not his
defensive
fault.
touchdown and then a Bailey Zappi pick which sets up Pittsburgh deep and another touchdown.
What's the
Then the 3
over-under?
touchdowns.
It's got to be like 31.
He had a nice little old mink on headed to the game
Oh,
yesterday.
no, that was a nice mink, man. Okay. Custom mink. You gotta have paper to do a custom
Or
mink.
Jerry money. Jerry money still cash.
Yeah.
It's a lifetime bag. It's a lot of money there. Jalen Hurts, Dak Prescott, both are in the MVP running right now, top 3. You wanted to dive into this MVP matchup here.
Well, I just want to talk about Dak for a minute. And we, obviously, Jalen Hurts is in the conversation because of the team's record, not because of his play. Because you look at his numbers, he's not playing as well as he did last year. But because there were 10-1 and now 10-2, he's in the conversation. But no one who watched him play would say he's on the level, playing on the level of Dak and Brock Purdy right now. And Kurt said, I don't think anybody's playing better than Dak Prescott, certainly over the last 7 weeks with what he's done since that San Francisco game. No one's playing better football than him. But Dak has continued to drop nuggets on us, and showing you his attitude. Certainly he's taken a lot of guff from the media and fans and everybody else. But, he's been sassy Dak, and talk poor honey on me. Going back, he's been sassy Dak all year. And, certainly after the Seattle game, we talked about, writing, he got the pen and the paper, he's writing his own story. You guys, have this.
That's one of the best quotes I've heard.
Oh, it's one of the great quotes. And then I tried to mess with him and said, Dak, you stole it from Gino. He said, no, Gino was writing the letter. I'm writing the book. He told me to walk off. But today, when Calvin Watkins asked Dak about CD and what he said, how he got mad about after the 49ers game, how it changed, how they changed with CD and after the 49ers, they're like, y'all still talking about the 49ers game? Y'all still way back there? Y'all panicked. We didn't. Y'all panicked. We didn't. We didn't, honestly. And
then why CD go had them conversations with Mike and
that don't
Mike
mean
and
no, he did what he was supposed to do. But that don't mean they panicked.
Okay.
And you look at how they played. Clearly, they didn't panic. They got better, but getting better don't mean you panic. As we talked about, on Jock Talk earlier today.
Yes.
People made a lot of generalizations about the Cowboys and wrote them off after that 49ers game. Used that game to say, this is who they are. This is who they always been. They can't beat the 49ers. They ain't going to live with expectations. This is who Dak here. They talked all that trash, and they changed the narrative. That doesn't mean they panicked. That means they went and did what they were supposed to do. And he's right. Y'all panicked. They didn't. They didn't panic. They went to work. It's different. They went to work, and that's what he talked about. They went back to work.
And on top of that, not only did they go back to work, I think that the circumstances played in their favor as well, which is something Schottenheimer mentioned today too, where the bye week came at the right time. You had the 49ers game. You had one game after that. Then you had the bye week. And then you had a little bit of a softer part in your schedule, which was the 3 games in 12 days. And then you had another mini bye week before the Eagles game. And the circumstances also helped them, but they took advantage of those circumstances.
No, they did, and I think they're the classic example why I'm always like sports is fluid, and what's true last month was not true this month because they changed some things. I mean, you can look at any stat relating to their offense, especially things that show air yards and stuff. You can see how they literally changed the offense. Dak is running more, he's using check downs more, he's going deeper more, so everything changed, and it's for the better.
Yeah, and good for Dak. I mean, again, what he went through last year in the offseason, all the narratives that were wrong and being important and generalizations made about him, who he was and type of player he was, for him to bounce back from that, even after that start, to play the way he's playing, good for him.
Well, were they wrong or were they accurate for that particular time?
No, I think they were wrong. The idea that he was a turnover machine was wrong.
He was a turnover machine last season. Now, we can say whatever we want to say about why he was. But last year, he was a turnover machine.
I disagree, but by and large, he has not been a turnover machine his entire career.
It was an aberration to his career.
No, but but people made it seem like that's who he was, the type of quarterback he was throughout his career.
No.
Not a one-year aberration. No. And so that's the point I'm making. And again, as I will point out,
because people say it all the time. People have career years, and then they have career worst years, and you are who you are. Those other, if you play long enough, those other 9-10 years. That's who you really are.
Right, and that's my point. Is through his career, he has not been a guy that turned the ball over.
That is correct.
And to say that's who he is was wrong. It was a poor narrative. It was a lazy narrative.
ESPN Radio had me on before the Seattle game with Freddie Coleman and Chad Brown, and they were asking about the quote unquote turnaround here. I was like, guys, he threw the picks last year, okay, but let's also not forget. That was a bad receiving core. It's CeeDee Lamb, and can you name anybody else off that receiving core that was good?
Noah Brown.
Stop it.
Where's he at?
Who dropped the pick that went for an interception?
That Jacksonville game. I mean, Noah Brown, they let him go. Michael Gallup. Michael Gallup is back. He's back.
His numbers have been reduced. His snaps have been reduced.
He's back, sure. But Cooks has surpassed him. He's got a better receiving core. And one of the things that I go back to for Jalen Hurts, remember his rookie year, and he had the bad game out in Tampa. Oh, he can't throw. He can't this. They improved the weapons around him.
Yes.
And sometimes it's like, is it the Carpenters? Is it the Carpenters' tools? A part of it was Dak, but you gave him some better tools and a better play caller. And we've seen what he's been able to do. Right now, he's tied with Brock Purdy, according to Vegas odds for MVP award. So I do think a lot of that's there. But yes, guys can have bad years.
And by the way, tied with Brock Purdy, but his passer rating since that San Francisco game is 10 points higher than Purdy, which is the largest gap in the top 20 quarterbacks from one to the next. He's 121.5, Brock Purdy's 111, and the next 20 guys, there's not that big of a gap between any two guys.
And the one thing I did say, and I still believe this, it goes back to what him saying he's got the pen and he gets to write the story. He has the absolute best opportunity to write the story of an MVP year. You get the Eagles on Sunday Night Football. We know the numbers are going to be fantastic. It has been the number one TV show in America for the last 12 years. They're about to do a great number. Then after that, you go up to Buffalo. That's going to be it's Fox. I don't know how, but Fox has got that game. It's going to be the afternoon game, so that's going to be national. Then you get the Miami game on Christmas Eve. It's the only game that day. Another massive audience is going to watch you. Then you get the doggone Lions, and you get that game. That's good. That's a good team.
Saturday night.
Yep.
Jimmy game.
Yep. Troy Aikman. Everybody's watching Jimmy go in the Ring of Honor. No, and that's what I said a few weeks ago. We don't have to campaign for that. We don't have to talk about it because if he does continue to play as he played with the stage that he has to play on, it will write itself.
Yes, and that's that's also that is the chore. Can you do it? That's the whole thing.
Again, there's no reason to think he can't. I mean, certainly. I mean, you look at the Eagles game. He played well enough to win up there. He threw for 377 yards, 3 touchdowns. I mean, they didn't lose the game because Dak didn't play well because he turned the ball over. He played well. It was an inch here and an inch there. That's a different game.
The inches we need are all around.
So. In this Eagles defense, which is one of the worst pass defenses in the league, one of the worst third down defenses in the league, there's no reason why he can't cook. To me, the difference in this game will be, can the Cowboys defense learn something from how the 49ers slowed down the Eagles offense? Because it was the Cowboys defense that didn't slow that Eagles offense down last year.
And if you look around in the room, they'll see a guy that'll go that inch.
Yeah.
Okay, Al Pacino.
Do you know where they filmed that scene at?
No, tell me.
Texas Stadium.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, remember that?
I remember that because I know I had some friends that went down there were extras. I remember when the movie came out, they were extras. So
Yes.
I
Sod, you were too young for that movie.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I watched it, but
So it's Dak Willie Beamer though. He Willie Beamer got the lady screaming.
That was the favorite press junket that I ever did when I worked in LA. Got to go do the any given Sunday press junket.
Willie Beamer.
That stuff make me want to go pull it out and watch it again.
It was
I like the movie. I mean, it's cheesy,
it's
but
fun.
I like the movie.
It's fun.
I like sports movies anyway, but I like that movie.
Yeah, I had to wait through lunch because Cameron Diaz has to go to lunch. So I had to wait. Like, okay, I'll wait.
I mean, no different than when we had what movie with The Rookie, and we had to wait for who's the I said his name wrong.
Dennis Quaid.
Dennis Quaid. He broke up with his girlfriend, and we had to wait hours.
Waiting for Dennis Quaid.
We had to wait for Dennis Quaid for hours.
No, this was just lunch, and this was Cameron Diaz.
I'm just saying, I
could have went home, but we was extra. Wait for
I got a
Diaz.
sad car. We was extras in the movie. Okay.
Oh, that's.
I got a little 2 seconds. They showed me eating popcorn.
I've never seen that movie.
Really?
Yeah, I've never seen
Well,
it.
would you watch that movie? It's a very good movie, and you will see me starring. 2 seconds.
I left early.
He wouldn't sleep yet. You see me start in the movie. And it's funny because all the baseball beat writers, they got mad because the Rangers had a road game, so they were away. And so they used football writers to be the baseball writers in the press box. Of course, John McClane was handling all that, so he put all his football guys there anyway. So, yeah, it was a good time.
The great John McClane.
That's why Shereen Williams had front row center seats.
Hey.
He was in there, me, Shereen, and Goose. We all had good.
Yeah, took care of his people now. Give McClane credit.
I love John McClane. All right, so one day, young Sod, you're gonna
have stories like
you
this.
gonna have stories like that. I can't wait for the Sod stories.
Maybe have a Jack Taylor Super Bowl story. Jack Taylor's the only one at this table that covered the Cowboys. Or did you cover the Cowboys in the Super Bowl? Were you here? Or were you in L.A.?
I was in Austin for Jimmy's last team.
Okay. Well,
we would go up to games, but I didn't get to go to that. I didn't go to that game, but we got to cover when Emmett got back.
Yes.
I think it was the year Tom Landry also went into the Ring of Honor, covered that one. So, yeah, it was a good time, man. Yeah, even covered Barry. Yeah. I covered the firing. Got to cover the firing.
I was here for all of that. But the funny thing about it is I was that was back in the day when the morning news would start talking about sending armies. We would send 30, 40 people. And so 95 Super Bowl, I'm the league high school beat writer. I was helping out on the Cowboys, on game day. I didn't go to the game. They sent another guy because covering high school recruiting was too important.
Yeah.
And so they sent a guy under me to be on the Super Bowl committee, and so I missed that game in '95 because it was high school because recruiting season's always signing day is always that week of the Super Bowl.
I'm sorry.
I know. And and the crazy part about it, you think, okay, I get the Cowboys next year.
They'll be back in the Super Bowl.
They'll be back in the Super Bowl. I started traveling with them the next year.
No.
So if you cover
they've won 4 playoff games since.
Might be time for you to cover. If you cover the Mavericks and take away your bad juju, then don't.
We were talking about this today in the locker room.
Don't misconstrue. Don't misconstrue. I was in Miami. I was covering the Mavericks when they won. I was at Live, okay?
We were talking about this in the locker room.
I was in Miami. Don't misconstrue now.
I don't remember.
Yeah, baby. 2011, I was in Miami.
I believe that. Knowing you, I can believe it.
Don't misconstrue.
I don't remember you working.
I was working. Listen, sir, I was covering all playoff games. San Antonio, I was there.
No, yes, you are correct.
A bunch of scribes in the locker room were talking about which writer is going to be here for the longest, and everyone said Clarence. Clarence is still going to be here. No matter, it doesn't matter who is the youngest guy in there, whatever. He's still competing with Clarence.
Listen.
I don't think he's going anywhere.
I got a kid that wants to be a doctor, so I got to get through medical school.
You're gonna rise up and go next level. Go national like Albert Breer with night. So you're gonna lead in this. Clarence is here. Clarence is pawpaw. He's here. He's gonna be here forever. We're gonna get a rocking chair and all that kind of stuff. They're gonna name it they can't rename it. They're gonna rename something after.
They ain't gonna name
media room.
This is Clarence Hill. I'm just here.
This VIP. Room right here.
No.
The Clarence Hill studio.
The Clarence Hill VIP room. So something like that. Something like that gonna work for you.
Listen, I'm just telling you, I'm not the jinx. I raised champions, okay? I mean, my daughter was a champion of gymnastics in gym, the state champion gymnast. So my oldest daughter won the NAACP Image Award. I raised champions, so it's bigger than me.
Okay,
getting awfully
Nino.
defensive.
Thank you,
about
Nino.
It's bigger than me.
Thank you,
It's
Nino.
bigger than me, okay?
Yeah, okay.
I raised champions.
CMB. It's Dak's fault. The
And I
educated
was
brothers in the
there for the Mavericks, so I don't jinx.
You wasn't there for the Rangers. Let's take a break on that. All right. Clarence Hill, Saad Youssef, Jean-Jacques Taylor, I'm Newey Scruggs. This is the Media Mash on DallasCowboys.com.
Todd thought it would be secure to jog in the cheetah savanna. Todd believed the big cat repellent he bought online was reliable. And now, Todd is trying to be faster than this cheetah that can run 80 miles per hour. But the good news is, Todd has AT&T 5G that is fast, reliable, and secure. And he learned the best thing to do is stop running and toss her the backpack with the beef stew. AT&T 5G. Fast, reliable, secure. It's not complicated.
5G requires compatible plan and device. 5G may not be available in your area. See att.com/5G for you for details.
Cowboys fans, after that move, we've just coined the term Rowdy Replay. Let's roll back the tape.
Okay, there's our mascot Rowdy cheering on the boys, and now he's on his phone, on his Bank of America mobile banking app?
Staying on top of his finances with his virtual financial assistant, Erica.
Bank of America's digital tools are so impressive. Cowboys fans just can't stop banking. Learn more at bankofamerica.com/can't-stop-banking.
Erica is only available in the English language. You must download the latest version of the mobile banking app, only available on select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. Member FDIC.
Welcome back into Dear Doctor, the show where I answer life's questions with an ice-cold can of Dr. Pepper. Sheila, let's hear from our next caller, would you?
Dear Doctor, my friend supported me during a tough time, but what's the right gift that says, thanks for being a shoulder to cry on?
Okay, this one's easy. I say give her a delicious Dr. Pepper. Nothing says, thanks, girl, better than a one-of-a-kind soda. Yes, any Dr. Pepper flavor will do. Now, just a reminder that I don't need to be a real doctor to know that Dr. Pepper is the one you deserve.
They say champions are remembered, but legends are never forgotten. United Ag and Turf offers a winning lineup of John Deere equipment built to tackle any challenge on and off the field. Legendary John Deere tractors, combines, residential mowers, commercial mowers, compact construction equipment, Gator utility vehicles, and a full line of golf and sports turf equipment. United Ag and Turf, the official Ag and Turf equipment supplier of the Dallas Cowboys. Visit UnitedAgAndTurf.com to find a location near you.
Back to Media Mash.
All right, let's ride. Media Mash last segment here. Wake up, Jock. Come on, baby. Come on, baby.
Man,
Bring it home. Bring it home.
you-
Jock Taylor, Saad Youssef, Clarence Hill, I'm Newey Scruggs. Cowboys getting ready to face the Eagles this week, and Shaq Leonard is looking to play for the Eagles. He made his decision, told Jerry Jones thank you, but he felt like Philadelphia was the best place to play. Jock, you covered the Cowboys beat back in the day when Jerry didn't lose these kind of battles.
No, but this was. I mean, I don't think they wanted to open up. I don't think they deemed him worthy of opening up the kids' trust fund and breaking him off. And so then it became, hey, we like you here. We think you can help us, but you ain't the end-all, be-all. Otherwise, the coach would have cut you. So we would like to have you. We think you can help. But, you know, here it is. Come ride with us or go ride somewhere else.
Also, just the way that a lot of people were talking about it, Jerry after the game, and just other people in the organization that I've talked to. I don't know how much confidence there was about the health. Like, I think there was definitely some doubts there about the health situation. I mean, if you just on the record, you go listen to Jerry after the previous game, you could tell there was some hesitancy with that, and I think that played a role as well.
Well,
but you only got to be healthy for.
Well, first of all, they wanted him.
Right.
They wanted him.
They wanted him. So and because of the health, they understood there was a limit to where he could help them. But Mike McCarthy told us that Dan Quinn had put a package of plays, put a package together how he could help this team, and they need help. They could use that help, and they wanted him. This was basically a decision where he decided where he wanted to go to play. He has a relationship with the coach from the time together with the Colts, and he just felt better about that situation. He probably would get more playing time, in that situation up there. And they needed him more in that situation up there. So that's just him. He talked about he liked the dog mentality on defense, whatever else, and he wanted to be up there. But make no mistake about it. Yes, Mike and Jerry talked about his health and how they may have played a role in the money they offered. But there's no question that the Cowboys wanted him and wanted to add him to the team to help with their playoff run.
So Shaq Leonard expected to play against the Cowboys on Sunday here. And since it's our final show of the week, let's go ahead and go around the table here and get some predictions for this game here. We'll go see.
14-0 at home. 5 straight against the Eagles at home. Cowboys playing as well as any team in football right now. Cowboys.
Okay, you got to score. Let me make sure I write this down. Go ahead, get it on down.
Now, you know, Chill really don't like to do scores.
I don't like to do scores.
What you going to do one today?
Let's do
Dallas what?
35-21.
35.
Oh,
blowed out.
Dang.
They a blowout.
All right, Saad, what you got?
Yeah, I've changed my tune on it. Earlier I thought the Eagles would pull it off, but just kind of seeing how close that game was up in Philly as well, and the way the Cowboys are playing at home, I think Cowboys 34, Eagles 31.
JJT.
So I've been looking at my notes. I have to keep my scores consistent. So what I said on Jock Talk was Dallas 34, Philadelphia 27. I think it's a heck of a game. But and I think it's devastating if they lose. So I think they need to win. Because if they lose, man, it's like, okay, you played 3 games that really mattered this year. You lost all 3 of them. You lost your 14-game home winning streak. You can kiss the division goodbye. I mean, that whole thing, it doesn't end the season, but it'd be a devastating loss. And so in the NFL, the desperate home team, you can book them most of the time.
I hear you, and it depends to me how they lose. You know, it all because
normally that's what I say.
Yeah, it depends on how they lose. If it's
31-30,
if it's another game like San Francisco, that's devastating.
Yeah, but it means the same in the standings. And Dak talked today about how important it is to get playoff games at home. And if you lose this game, you basically are penned in on the 5th seed.
I understand that, but at the end of the day, the Cowboys probably won't have home field advantage.
Right, but you still want to put yourself in the best position possible.
No question. It will be a disappointment. It will be a setback on the quest to get home games. But again, to say it's a season ender, to say that it will mean that their hopes and dreams are lost, to protracted, and say this is going to mean they can't win the playoffs. I disagree. I say it depends on how they lose. They get blown out, yes. But as I pointed out earlier today, 2007, the Cowboys roasted the Giants twice. Giants won the playoffs 9-7. Giants went on the road and won every game, won the Super Bowl, and beat Dallas at home. So to say, obviously you want to put yourself in the best position possible, and doing that does that. But to say that it's like a devastating setback, and it's one thing that J. Ron Curtis talked about. It's not their goal is the Super Bowl. Their goal is not to win Sunday. Certainly Sunday helps them achieve that goal, but their season is not over if they don't win Sunday.
Schottenheimer talked about this after the 49ers game too, and I think it's relevant now. When he was with the Jets, they lost 45-3 to the Patriots in 2010 and then beat them in the divisional round of the playoffs. So even if you get blown out, you can still recover from that. But it is also interesting how Eagles, 49ers, Cowboys fans rooting for the 49ers, and now 49ers are rooting for the Cowboys, because if the Cowboys win,
it gives them home field advantage, and everybody got to come through San Francisco where that's the swaggiest team in the league. Nobody talks trash and backs it up like the 49ers. Probably the swaggiest team in the league, cockiest team in the league since those 90s Cowboys.
I like that boombox they carry out.
Yeah, all of that. But that's just not the boombox. It's just they talk. I mean, it's like Debo talk trash, told the Eagles what he's going to do, and went up there and backed it up.
Those Seahawks teams were pretty swaggy too. For that 2-3 year window.
All right, tonight, if you are in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, head on down to Arlington, Ella B's Restaurant, Clarence Hill. Come chill with Clarence Hill. Watch the game. Jock, you will be there. You'll also be signing copies of the book Coach Prime. It's an excellent Christmas gift. Saad, what you wrote? Come through, man. Come through, man. Come through. Clarence can buy you some catfish. Come on through. Come through.
Is Nui going to show up?
TBD.
TBD. I need to commit.
Like to, but we got children. Somebody gonna throw somebody throwing something.
You got grown children.
12-year-old. Go pick her up. Phone dead. Can't find the child.
What the older daughter's at?
They doing their thing.
One of them went back up to college today, and then the youngest and the second one, they fight like cats and dogs. Okay, and people in the car trying to beat each other.
Put that belt over the door.
Oh, okay. I don't get to do that. That's all I need. TV dude brings out belt whips child like he's Adrian Peterson. Yeah. That's the headline I need. Goodbye, Claire.
Take the car away.
Like, I'm not
ground them.
I'm not listening to
you. You cannot have dinner.
I took the car away.
This has been the Media Mash. Goodbye.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys? Yeah!